Hey everybody, it's GP6 here, and welcome to the Pokemon President Sapphire Creative Commentary. So for any of you that don't know what this is, basically it is a talk-through, kind of an explanation, behind-the-scenes type of thing, where I'm going to be talking about the President's Play of Pokemon Sapphire Nuzlocke series that I created here on the channel. And I'm going to go through the whole series, and there's going to be a couple of skips and edits and stuff, but I'm going to be talking about a lot of the inside jokes, a lot of the kind of quick-witted references that you might not have gotten, and kind of just talk about the production of the series, how a couple of the episodes went, what my goal was for the series, how I was going into it, and yeah, it should be fun. You know, you might learn something as we go throughout it. Right now, it's just going to be me going through this. It was a one-man show. You know, I created the whole thing, I recorded it, I edited the videos, did all the audio, generated the voice lines, everything. This was a 100% GP6 product. So I'm excited to share with you kind of a couple of the insights and stuff with these episodes. Might bring a couple of guests along in the future, might bring a couple of special appearances to help me talk through the episodes. And if you're wondering why the layout is a bit scuffed the way that it is, it's because the camera that I have doesn't have like a full widescreen resolution. There'd be two black bars down the side, and I'd have to like enhance the image, so it's really blurry. But I think I have an interesting alternative. Without further ado, I guess let's get into episode 1 of the President's Play, a Pokemon Sapphire Nuzlocke.
Hello everybody. Welcome to a very special playthrough of Pokemon Sapphire. Today I have with me my two good friends, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. What's up, boys?
Good evening, boyos.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Joey McLoey.
Okay then. We are going...
I promise I'm not going to be pausing all the time. That line we reference all the time. All, like, the AI presidents, content creators. It's so funny. Okay then. I don't know why, right? Like, you can clearly see the progression through this series. As we get to the later episodes, you're going to see very noticeable improvements. And even for this episode, you know, like, there's a lot of pauses, there's a lot of breaks. The way that they say some of the words and the tone that they use, I would never have accepted this nowadays. But I was just trying to figure out the program, you know? Really getting the voices down and trying to get them to sound as unique as possible. And I think I did achieve that. For better or for worse, I'm not too sure. I guess I should actually start before we go any further as to why I made these episodes and these videos. So I found a video, maybe it was at the start of July or May, I think it was May, of the Boys Are Liar Part 2 covered by Barack and Joe Biden. It was made by the Gregory brothers. And I just thought that video was absolutely hilarious, but it also was a bit scary because it did sound like the presidents, you know? And then I saw these AI videos of them actually playing these games and going out there, and, you know, people were dubbing them over Mario Party and other, like, Wii Sports, other types of videos like that. Nothing too extensive, but then I came across a certain legendary playthrough of the President's Playdates Pokemon Fire Red Let's Play. And that's what sparked it all. I found the 1 to 3 parter. And then I saw episode 4 live, and I was there for the whole journey. President Playdates, if you're out there, I hope you're doing good, buddy. I know you're saying in your community tab a while ago that you weren't feeling the greatest, but I really hope you come back one day just to see the kind of community that you grew, because I know I'm inspired heavily by your style. So is Broadway CJ97, and I'm sure a couple of the other guys, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, so... yeah, I saw that video and I was like, you know what, I could make one of these. So I decided to do it, and I picked Sapphire because, you know, why not? Originally it was going to be Alpha Sapphire because I came across a Pokemon Emerald Let's Play, or a Pokemon Emerald AI Presence playthrough by Dornas Menden, I believe. And I thought, you know, if I did Sapphire, it would be kind of, you know, too close to the Gen 3 audience. Like, somebody was technically already doing that. We didn't know if he was going to finish it or not. And I was going to do Alpha Sapphire, but then I thought, you know what? It's such a hassle. It's such a setup to do, so I just said, you know what? Screw it. The regular Sapphire is so much easier, so that's how I chose Sapphire. A lot of you were probably wondering.
Going to be attempting a randomized Nuzlocke of Pokemon Sapphire. Standard Nuzlocke rules. Furthermore, we won't be using items in battle.
We can still use revives, though, right?
Off to your usual sleepy start, Joe. I can already tell if anyone is killing this run, it's going to be you.
I would very quickly be known for foreshadowing a lot of events, right? Conditioning the audience into saying, this is going to happen. Will it happen? Will it not? And it is kind of a crazy guessing game now at this point, that any small detail that I bring into a beginning of a series or at the start of a series could really happen later on, right? That one was unintentional, because at this point I had only recorded the first 3 episodes of this Let's Play. And unironically, I had Donald say, "Oh, if anyone's going to be killing this run, it's going to be you, Joe." And, that sort of comes true. We'll find out. But that was unintentional. That was absolutely unintentional. And a lot of people commented on the full movie series. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Like, it was literally foreshadowed in the first, minute or 2 minutes or whatever that Joe was going to die against Wallace. That was an accident. I'm not going to lie. I cannot take credit for that. That was a total accident.
Boys, quiet down. In terms of what's been randomized, we have wild encounters, held items, field items, abilities, base stats, move sets, HM compatibility, and evolutions. To save us some time grinding, the level of all trainer Pokemon has been lowered by 20%, and wild Pokemon are boosted by 20%. This is so when we catch something, it's usable immediately, and so we don't have to grind at Victory Road, as Ruby and Sapphire are notorious for their level jumps. Gyms are type-themed, and important trainers such as rivals and gym leaders have 1 extra Pokemon. Sound good?
Hell yeah, let's get this run going.
All right, ready when you are.
Even there with the pauses, where Brock says, does that sound good? There's probably a full second pause there before Donald responds. And then, let's get this run going. Another full second pause. All right, ready when you are. From Joe. It's kind of crazy. I would never have let that slide nowadays. I would have chopped that down to a more appropriate response. I guess you could put it up to the boys' Discord. Call quality back in the day was a lot worse. I don't know, but I just, looking back on this retrospectively, I'm like, damn, I could have done that so much better. And that's going to be a common theme that you're going to see me say throughout this whole thing, that I'm going to look back and say, wow, I really could have done that a lot better, because I haven't seen the full Sapphire movie ever. I actually haven't sat down and watched the whole thing right through, because I wanted to save it for this series so I could look back and give this kind of introspective view and say, wow, I really have improved and I could have done that better. Or do you know what I would have done now? I probably would have done this. You might even see me throw in a few edits in this series. I don't know. Again, I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, wow, I can already see this is insane. The amount of polish that I would have put on this episode is a bit crazy right now.
Perfect. I'll play for this episode and we will take turns going forward. I'll put the battle style to set, and is there any particular border you guys want?
Ooh, I like the rainbow
The
one.
pauses.
Well, honestly, not a bad choice, Joe. What about the blocky one? It reminds me of my staple combo piece, Block Dragon.
Hashtag free blocky on Twitter.
Donnie, stop it right now. Already starting with some hot topics, I see.
So again, another common theme that I use throughout the series is that I talk about a lot of pop culture, outside media, and I'm a pretty big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I'm not mad into the competitive scene, but I know about how the meta is. I understand about your hand traps and a couple of the meta decks and stuff, and I can see why Black Dragon was banned. But I just thought it was funny to make Donald one of these people who's like, oh, we should free Black Dragon, don't free Black Dragon unless he gets an errata or something. But I think I was originally going to say something along the lines of free Rongo Miniad or something, because he was just banned on Master Duel at the time. But I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have known who Rongo was, hashtag free Rongo, whereas hashtag free Blocky just makes more sense. So make sure you tweet at me at GameProducer6, hashtag free Blocky on Twitter.
Ooh, the things I would let an Altaria do to me.
Joe, you too. Stop it, please.
This is the only thing that I knew I was going to dislike. I'll bring it back. I'll rewind it a little bit.
I'm going to pick the Cloud Altaria 1.
So, to me, right, the whole thing that I'm trying to get across here is that they're actually playing together in a Discord call. So right now, Barack is player 1. He's got the Game Boy. He's streaming it to Discord, whatever. And the other 2 boys are watching him. This is the only time in the series that I can think of this breaks immersion. Well, you know, relatively breaks immersion. It's the fact that there's a cutaway, but Barack is still speaking. Watch.
It's not too fancy, but not entirely plain either.
Ooh, the things I would let an Altaria do to me.
Joe, you too. Stop it, please.
There. You see that fade in? Barack is still talking. You can still hear like his mic static audio.
Okay, we need a name. And
That's the only thing that annoys me about pretty much the whole series. I would have had Barack fade out there, or I would have had him like fully like transparent, or like kind of like how these two are, and he would have come in again with the line, and I would have faded in his audio. That's the only like hard criticism, and I'm like, I wish I could have gone back and fixed. I should have fixed it for the movie, but I forgot.
anybody got any suggestions?
Ha! That's easy, Barack.
Huh. Oh, yeah. I vaguely remember something like that.
Well, this doesn't bode well for our journey. Say, Joe, what's your Pokemon
See, that was perfect. That's literally what I would have done at the start. Have Barack fade out, then fade back in with the audio.
knowledge at anyway?
I'm not gonna lie, Barack. I'll be impressed if he even remembers the type chart.
I'm okay up to this gen, I guess. Was more of a red and blue guy, you know?
Fair enough, Joe. Donnie, what about yourself?
While I haven't played all of the main titles, I have been known to ladder OU on Pokemon Showdown throughout the years. I could tell you all about the Weather Wars, the Megas, the Z moves, Land or Us, Stealth Rocks, anything and everything, baby.
That's great, but have you ever played Sapphire?
Not a hope I would ever willingly play this piece of shit. Game Boy is mid and cheap, the graphics are garbage, there's no fun battle mechanic, trumpets are ear-aching, and box art legendaries are stupid as hell. This game blows, and the only reason I'm giving it a shot is because you two will be playing the other thirds of it, and it's randomized.
I might as well get this out of the way. This like creative commentary is going to be censored just to hopefully monetize it a little bit better, and so that YouTube can push it out to a proper audience instead of it destroying my videos. But the very beginning of the series, probably like the first 10 episodes, you will notice that there is a lot of cursing in the videos, and that is purely a kind of novice thing. Like it's a very newcomer thing to do for these type of videos, because when you have the ability to replicate these voices, these, you know, iconic figures, and to make a video series out of it, you're going to make them say wacky stuff, right? You're going to make them curse. You're going to make them say stuff that they would otherwise never say, because that's kind of the appeal of it, right? But I guess the thing that I should have realized is that having them talk about Pokemon in a casual manner or a competitive manner, or like, you know, just topics in general about Pokemon was enough to garner an audience and a community that would want to see it. Whereas there's a lot of misinterpretation that I had about it, where I had them curse a lot. I had them dropping F-bombs like there was no tomorrow, and, you know, constantly making dark and grim references when it really wasn't necessary, right? And my writing definitely honed itself near the later half of the series. And especially after a certain episode, which we will talk about when we get to it, that I really opened my eyes and I went, okay, I need to calm it down a little bit on the writing. Because it's fine to throw in, you know, when you throw in an F-bomb and it works really well. But when you're doing it every second sentence, it doesn't really work, you know? I will say that Donald, of all of them, of the three, like when he says the F word, it really comes across stronger than the other two. But, you know, anyway.
Jesus Christ, what the riggedy was that about? You could have just said
See?
no, Donald.
I didn't need to curse there. I really didn't.
All right, boys, it's starter time.
Can you pick Charmander for me, Barack?
Do you know what randomized means, Joe?
Lie noon, absolute trash.
Another F-bomb.
Torkoal seems like a solid choice.
Hey,
Yo, it's Pikachu.
I'm going to pick the fire turtle. Any objections?
I wouldn't actually mind Torkoal. As you said, he's solid and should be dependable, unlike Dementia Joe over here.
Oh, no, wait, that's Pikachu.
Arguably one of the best moments in the whole series. To me, anyway. I don't know. A lot of people love it. I love seeing the double hit, you know, or double hit, no Ambipom, where Joe comes in with the, hey, yo, it's Pikachu on the Kakuna. And then people are like, huh, that's funny. He thought it was Pikachu. And then Abra comes in. Oh, no, wait, that's Pikachu. And then you're like, what is good with this guy? You know, I love that. I love seeing people's reaction to that for the first time. It's hilarious.
For sake, Joe.
Another F-bomb.
You sound like every typical mother who points at any given Pokemon and calls it Pikachu. Abra and Sand Shrew were in red and blue, so there's no excuse with them.
Abra, by the way. Pokemon pronunciations are hard with this program. Can I just say that? You have to spell them out phonetically. And the Abra line of all things is super difficult. Getting them to say Alakazam is impossible. I've gotten Alakazam. It's really tough. But generally, if you spell it out phonetically, so instead of saying A-B-R-A, which is what I did here because I hear it's pronounced wrong, I would have probably done A-H-B-R-A. Abra. Or B-R-A-H, maybe. I don't know. I haven't had to use Abra since. But generally, I do try to avoid the names that are difficult to pronounce because otherwise it just comes across as really weird. Or if they do pronounce it in a butchered way, I would have had the other two comment on it, which obviously I didn't know at this time because I don't blame Infant GP. He was just learning how to get this program working. So you can give him some slack. I'm going to give him the most slack, but forgive him on that one at least.
Run away. You hate to see it. Decent stat spread and moves. You know what? Early game, this can put in work.
Personally, I value Pokemon in a randomizer.
Such a long
high
pause.
attack stats. Not that I have done many Nuzlocks, but what is the point in having a stall team with no wall breakers?
Damage is the only way forward.
Again, another random pause. I did want to go into this with, again, the differentiating characteristics of each guy, right? So Barack is the calculated one. He's done Nuzlocks before. He knows what he's doing. Joe is like, he's forgetful. He doesn't know what's going on, really. He's played Red and Blue and a couple of the other games, but nothing too serious. And then Donald's like the tryhard. He's the button masher. And it comes across in the gameplay too. Like in a lot of Donald's episodes, you will see that he doesn't even look at the moves. He's just like, okay, I think slot 4 was the water type move, so straight down to the 4th slot, and then the move happens. And then whether that gets him in trouble or not, it depends on the battle, right? But as well as that, the two of them, I wanted to kind of side. There is a running theme of them being best friends and stuff, and that's where Barack's jealousy comes into it. Burning jealousy, some might say. And this was kind of me planting the seeds for that. So there was a bit of foreshadowing in this episode, to be fair. It could have been done a lot better, but, again, it was the best of what I could do at that point.
Before I give my 2 cents, I'm going to nickname this Torkoal after the Smoke Master Snoop Dogg.
How's this going to work on the screen? That's cool.
Oh, it's the gloomy blunt blaster himself.
Oh, not the dank weed wizard.
Yo, you motherfuckers are all cute trying to throw me for a loop.
Ascended Sensei, what are you talking about?
I see that motherfucker Torkoal is a girl. She like life. It ain't but a fat vagina.
Pretty sure those aren't your bars, Mongo Tree Blazer.
For anyone that didn't catch that those aren't Snoop Dogg's lyrics. Those are Kendrick Lamar's. I'm a big Kendrick fan, and I don't know why I picked Snoop. I just figured it was one of the easiest ones to sample audio for, and it was, funny enough. But I just thought it would be hilarious if he came into the call and he started reciting lyrics of some other random rapper. So he did. Shout out to Kendrick.
Yeah, whatever, man. Listen, all I'm saying is you calling me a bitch or what?
Young Snoopy, we would never call you a bitch, homie.
On God, you are G-Dog and the #1 reef blower we know.
Huh. All right, we cool. Keep it blazing.
I see what you're saying, Barack. You know me, I love building walls, but pure strength is too valuable in a match. If I can outspeed and kill my opponent before they retaliate, then it doesn't matter how offensive or defensive they are.
Preach it, Donnie. Although, again, I have to say I do love inflicting status ailments on the opponent.
So, again, this is just me getting across their characteristics. But just to clarify, I also don't know much about these three, like, in real life. And that's done on purpose. And I try to keep away from the media and stuff because I don't want to, come across as somebody who's trying to preach a certain side. I'm not even American, so I don't really have an influence on the American society and culture and stuff like that politically. But as well as that, it just kind of gets boring if they're portrayed as themselves in every video series, which is what this gave me a chance to do, is to kind of create my own characters using voices and using figures that, I can go against the norm and have Joe be, he can remember something for once. And Donald's talking about walls, yeah, but he also doesn't prioritize that in a Pokemon Nuzlocke. It's just contradictions and juxtapositions, I suppose, like that kind of add to the series a little bit. That I know a lot of you do appreciate, you know.
Joe, you'd rather use Spore on an S-Peon with magic bounce so your old ass could fall
S-Peon.
asleep again.
That was horrible.
Speaking of sleep, look, Donnie, it's you, the chunky sloth Pokemon.
Oh shit. Watch.
Also, sorry, I promise I won't pause as much. Again, this was not a foreshadow. The fact that Joe said that this was Donald, only for Donald later on to catch a Slacking and name it after Joe. Accidental foreshadowing, but you know, we rock with it. We take it. That was totally on me. Yeah, 100%.
Watch out, Barack. Slack King without the truant ability is a real threat.
At plus
to our
2
team.
defense, if Vital Throw does that much damage to a 670 base stat total Pokemon.
It's true.
Even if he lowers my attack, 2 more Vital Throws is guaranteed to KO from this range.
So much silence. I would not have done this.
Holy sh!
Snoop is trying to
So
learn
much
small.
silence,
Yeah, the
Jesus.
purple gigantic.
I didn't
game
realize
is
how
going
bad it
straight to
was.
his head.
It's not ideal, and its low accuracy is frustrating, but at the moment, it's extra coverage and definitely better than camouflage.
Hey, look, she has that trash lie noon you were dissing earlier, Donald. I hope it kicks your ass down the line.
I swear to God, Joe, if I ever lose a Pokemon to a Linoon ever in my rich and powerful life, I will exile myself to the farthest corner of the earth and torture myself with plastic spoons.
I'm kind of curious as to what you mean by that, but let's just be glad we got through that fight with no issues.
He would go on to very, very, very nearly losing, I think it was Golduck, to the Linoon. Lives on like 2 HP. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But, unfortunately, it didn't come through. But, again, that's where the conditioning comes into play, right? That you're seeing all these foreshadows early on of, like, Donald saying, oh, the run's going to end, which does happen. And even the Slacking encounter and all these other things that are thrown in there. That you would nearly take this as a foreshadowing event of, oh, Donald is going to lose something to the Linoon. But it's not. That's where the conditioning comes into it. And I love doing it. I love throwing in, like, the random one-offs of, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? You know, keep you guys on your toes. I just think, you know, it's an easy way to really get your audience invested, because it just means that not everything can be taken at face value, but also, how far are you actually willing to read into the stuff that's said, you know?
I wouldn't say no trouble, Barack. That double slap did a number on you. I can see it messing up Donald in the future. I can't wait.
Shut the f up, Joe. I'll sacrifice any Pokemon you catch just to spite you.
Your dusty Cheeto-looking ass better stay away from my pocket monsters.
Yeah, Donald, you Oranguru looking we need to work together in order to win this challenge.
Never forget that.
All right, fine. I'll play nice, you sons of bitches. Say, while we have a bit of downtime, how about we shout out the channel these videos are getting uploaded to?
Me.
That's a fair point, Donnie.
That's me.
Make sure you subscribe to Game Producer 6.
Listen to
This
him.
is literally costing him time and money to run this series, so be sure to like and support the video.
Wait, you guys are getting paid for this?
We are mainly getting paid because we have to put up with your bullshit, Joe.
Ignore those two clowns. We will try and incorporate some sort of comment question to each video for the shits and giggles.
So that was kind of a personal thing for me, that I just wanted to hear them say my channel name, Game Producer 6, and it was so cool. I don't know why. It still hasn't worn off on me, like just hearing them say Game Producer 6. That's just cool. And now that I've actually built a community from it, it just makes it all the cooler, you know. Unintentional foreshadowing, yeah, let's just say that. But I do love the running gag that the two Barack and Donald are getting paid for this, but Joe isn't. Like, that's just hilarious to me.
I love Braviary, the icon of America. Enough said.
Gardevoir is the finest piece of ass I think I've ever seen on
Joe,
the internet.
let's shut the hell up for 2 seconds while we grab our first encounter of this run.
Not true. It's not actually Joe's favorite Pokemon.
A seahorse. Delicious.
A bit sus there, Donnie. Horsey doesn't evolve until level 32, so it might be a bit of dead weight for a while until it starts picking up the pace mid-game.
What the flippity Joe? Was that a detailed
Random
analysis
curse.
and cautious professional play coming from you?
I tried evolving a Horsey into a Kingdra back in the day. It caused me great pain. I will never forget those sleepless nights.
Oh, I'm genuinely sorry to hear that, Joe. What was the problem?
While I was playing Red and Blue, I leveled it up to 92 before running my Game Boy over in my sunroof Cadillac.
Oh, what the f, Joe?
I'm just going to name it
Save Me.
Was Save the Seahorses ever a movement?
Yeah, it obviously didn't work, though. My tires pierced that chunky Game Boy color into the next century.
From hearing the voice line so often in the editing program, I pretty much know majority of the script. So if you see me mouthing along or talking along to it, it's because it's literally like built into my brain. But I was standing here on the screen for like, as you saw, like a minute. I could not think of a single good name for Horsey. Like, it's a male as well, which, you know, reproduction of male seahorses, look into it. I could have went along that route. That would have made a lot more sense, but I couldn't think of anything. So I was like, you know what? There's like a turtle. There was a Save the Turtles kind of thing, you know, and the Earth endangerment and stuff like that. Let's just go with Save Me for Horsey. Why not? Sure.
Please give us Donald that roach balloon, motherfucker.
Ha! Serves you right, Sleepy Joe.
Another level 32 water evolution.
Roach balloon, by the way. Sphere that's kind of round like a balloon. Just a little thing there, you know?
Ice types are a big risk on their own, but as part of a dual type, the stab should come in handy. It's probably going to miss 2 times, then land and poison the foe at the same time. That should be enough for 1 Pokeball.
Come on, Barack. Playing with knowledge is a smart choice, I'll give you that. But straight up, predicting the luck elements is never a reliable strategy. You can't expect things to go exactly your way, given how random some of these odds are.
So much silence, Jesus. But again, this was another defining characteristic of Barack, where it was very easy. It's a very easy editing tip. I've already played through this. I know exactly what's going to happen. So I literally skip forward a minute. I go, okay, what are the events? What's going to happen? Rewind it. Have Barack say it, you know, foretell it as it's about to happen. And that would go on to be his future sight ability, which all these guys will get. It's a very tough balancing act because you don't want to spoil everything, right? And there's a really good moment that I really pulled it off where a lot of commenters were saying, you know, it's so annoying that Barack foreshadows these major events and that, you know, he spoils it basically. It kind of loses a lot of the interest in the video. But there, again, it's all about conditioning. I took that into account. I took that feedback and I went, okay, everybody believes everything that Brock's saying, that they think that he is spoiling the series. So what if I make a major like read or play with Barack, have Donald side with him, but Joe pulls it out through his sheer willpower, which we will go on to see as the series continues.
Wait a minute, Donnie. Let him cook.
Let him cook. So much. I would have cut this whole thing out, or I would have had them doing a running commentary.
What the fuck? Sugoi.
Anyways, I'm naming this spiel after the Yugi tuber D Zeef.
Shout out to
videos
Zeef.
to stick on in the background while you're playing a game or mindlessly editing your own YouTube videos.
This really was the Yu-Gi-Oh episode. First, hashtag free Blocky and DZeef. Also, nobody has pointed it out. I spelled DZeef wrong. It's 2 Fs. Nobody has pointed that out, by the way. Everyone's commented being like, damn, you to go for, you know, including DZeef, you know, based pick. Nobody has said I spelled it wrong. Just putting it out there.
Now, Intimidate is a fantastic ability. Barack, what are you doing? You only have 1 Pokeball. Don't tell me you're going to attempt another capture with just a singular ball left.
Another water type. This will make the RNG manipulation even harder.
A lot of people say, why did I go into this grass with just 1 Pokeball? And the answer is I totally forgot. I forgot I only had 1 Pokeball. I really should have went and bought more. But I forgot. I absolutely... It just went out of my head. And I was like, oh, nice, a new encounter. I'm going to go get it straight away. Yeah, I only have 1 Pokeball. Totally forgot. But again, this kind of shows the break in Obama's future sight a little bit. This is, again, a display of when it goes wrong. So there is this was established pretty early on that it's not going to be consistent 100%. He's not going to be able to pull everything out of a hat and just make it magically work. No. He's still going to have to try in order to beat this Nuzlocke.
The what now?
Okay, if I can get Torkoal down to 13 HP with Tentacruel's water spout, that should give me the perfect seed for catching this thing. I know Fire Blast will at least bring me down to 29 when it lands it, of course, but the water spout roll is hard to call.
I want to say let him cook, but I'm kind of shitting my pants here a little. I'm afraid Freddy Fazbear is going to come out from under my bed again and murder me like an innocent child.
Again? Joe, what the piss, and leave that brown, creepy bastard out of this.
Again? What are you talking about? I love that. That was just an easy one to throw in there.
29.
29.
Well, I'll be f***ed. The ball's only going to shake 3 times now before he breaks out. What a load of dog diddly shit.
What the fuck? Donnie, did you see that voodoo sorcery shit? Are we even on the same page as this guy?
Joe, that was the most insane call out
F-bomb.
I've heard in my life. He's 9 steps ahead of us. We are amateurs
F-bomb.
compared to this pro.
GP, what were you doing?
Well, folks, I hope no one wanted a tentacruel because that bitch is dead and gone. I'm going to go buy Pokeballs and wrap
I
it up.
forgot
in
I
last
said
words.
that.
Well, let me just say it was an honor to be here, gentlemen. I enjoy playing these kind of games with you guys, and let's hope that this adventure is a success the whole way through. I promise that I, Donald Trump Ketchum, will play to the best of my ability, no matter what kind of obstacle is thrown my way.
Same here. I promise that I will give this game my all. I'm going to peek all of my chews and squirt all of my turtles.
Joe, don't say that.
I've got a bit of studying to do, but I'll come back with a fresh mind. Fire beats grass, grass beats water, and, water
beats flying?
All right, folks. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos such as this.
And this is where 80% of the viewership drops off. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of, like, outros and stuff. A lot of the other Presence Play content creators, they do, like, this song and this outro and stuff. Maybe that's the new wave. I don't know. But I was just always a fan of ending it on a personal note of whoever was playing saying, you know, thanks for watching. You know, thanks for being here. But, yeah, that was episode 1. You can see there was a lot of problems. And a lot of people go back and they watch Sapphire and they go, damn, this series is so good. It was so goated. Yeah, no. I think a lot of people are getting, like, this kind of mixed up memory, like a Mandela effect type of thing, where the later half of the series is definitely of higher quality, and they apply that to the beginning. It's fun for me to watch because that was, you know, that was probably the best I could do at the time, but I would have so changed this episode. I would have had a few more things thrown in there, a few more foreshadowing topics. I would have talked about a few things a little bit more, you know, about the basis of a Nuzlocke and established the relationship between the guys a bit stronger. And I would not have left so many pauses. And I think the next few episodes is still a little bit similar. There are a lot of long pauses where it's just total silence, which done right is fine, but half of those were not needed. So, yeah, that was episode 1 of Sapphire. Interesting. Hey everybody, it's GP6 here from the future editing this video. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. These are very easy videos to get out, so if there's a bit of downtime where I can't get a Presence video out or anything like that, then this is a very easy episode or a video that I can put out to kind of fill that void for the week. So if you enjoyed this type of content, please let me know. If you have any feedback, please let me know down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.